Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're just going to give a couple minutes to let some more invitees filter in, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So just about 3 or 4 more minutes, and then we'll get rolling.
All my demons, you said, come and go. Just like oh, there ain't no darkness that I fear. Say I love you more. So be clear, just to be clear. So be clear. All I am is the bones you made for me. Just driftwood for the sea, or heavy as the horses that carry me away. No, there ain't no darkness that I fear. Oh, there ain't no way to say I love you more. No darkness in the Lord. No darkness that I fear. Oh, no way to say I love you more. So be clear, just to so be clear. No diamonds in the water. No, there ain't no darkness that I fear. Oh, there ain't no way to say I love you. So be clear. Oh, 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 falling from high places, falling through low spaces. Now that we're lonely, now that there's nowhere to go, watching from both sides. Hope I was burning up. I lost my time here. I lost my patience with you. Lost faith in who they are to love.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. Appreciate your willingness to hang out for a second as we get the presentation ready to go. Just wanted to do a little bit of housekeeping on the front end while we're waiting for the presentation to pop up on the screen here. If you're joining us via Zoom, there is a chat function where you can select chat and type anything that you have as far as questions or comments and feedback to either an individual in the group or to the group as a whole. And if you're joining us on Facebook, if you put something in the comment box on Facebook, then I will be monitoring that and bringing those questions to the group. After the presentation is ended, if you have questions along the way, we will be able to field them through myself. We'll put my contact information up at the end of the presentation, and we'd be happy to share them back with the group. So we welcome your feedback and your input and appreciate you for being here. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Todd Lieberman, who is with Bridgeport Development, to facilitate the presentation. Hi, Todd.
Hey, Lauren, thank you very much. And thank you all for participating and being on the call. I know some of you are probably on this on Facebook Live, and others will watch this later. So I'm here to tell you we're just really excited about this next phase of the North 30th revitalization. This phase is the culmination of years of work, and we are now at a place where we want to show you where we are and then give you a timeline for getting to the next component of this project, which is an application for some more public financing to support this mixed income development. So let's go to the next slide. And I don't need these earphones because they're attached to my phone, not my computer. So first we're going to go through introductions of who's on the phone, go through a timeline of what we think will happen when, and then go through some of the plans, and then have a quick discussion. And then to end up the projects, I know that Sydney Franklin and her team from 75 North want to go over some of the homes that they're building, which is an exciting component of this project as well. So the team that we're working with on this project is a mixture of local and national teams, public institutions and private companies, and some of the best architects in the Midwest. 75 North is one of the partners on this development. They are the people lead on the C&I project. Belmont Housing Authority is the landowner and is also a partner on the development of the former of Spencer Homes into Kennedy Square. City of Omaha is the lead grantee and has been a core component of the project, facilitating the people plan and a lot of the work that you've seen today, that you're going to see today. Our architects are a trio of architects that have worked with us since the beginning of Highlander: Landon Bone Baker, El Dorado, Ali Pointer, and our civil engineers, Erhard Griffin. Erhard Griffin and Ali Pointer are both local. El Dorado is a nationally known firm out of Kansas City, and Landon Bone Baker is a firm out of Chicago. Next. So the timeline is this is really our first presentation to you guys. We'll be going back to you later in the year to further refine the project and get some more feedback and thoughts. And then we'll be submitting a tax credit application, which is a public financing application to the Nebraska Investment and Finance Authority, which is called NIFA. In the spring, we'll be coming back to you with an update on how the plans are going. And in the fall or winter, we'll be starting construction. Project will be completed in about 16 months and will be a complete revitalization of the area in and around Spencer Homes and across the street. Next. The Kennedy Square project triggers Section 3, and Section 3 is an important program to hire and work with low-income residents and businesses. The Section 3 program has changed a lot, and Alyssa Silchek is on the phone, I think. If she's not, we'll have a separate presentation where we go through and really talk about ways for people to get involved. But in general, we want to hire people who, and our subcontractors want them to hire folks that are in and around Spencer Homes, either as workers in the development or if they're businesses that are low-income businesses. And the way that this program's changed is now it's focused more on hours work. So previously, you know, if you hired a business and those businesses had Section 3 workers, you counted up the number of new hires. Now it's really about the hours that you work. And we've hired a consultant who can provide information to anyone who's interested, but we'll get more of this in the next presentation we do. Davis-Bacon is a program that is designed to provide prevailing wage, so wages that are of a certain level to workers working on a federal job. And because of the HUD funding in this transaction, Davis-Bacon is triggered. The city of Omaha will oversee Davis-Bacon on this development, and there will be a wage determination at the start of the job, and the subcontractors and contractors will have to meet these requirements. At the job site, there'll be postings on both Section 3 and Davis-Bacon, and it ensures that workers are paid a certain wage and over a certain time frame on projects that are federally funded. And again, there'll be another presentation on this. Quickly, we're just going to walk through what's happened to date with the North 30th revitalization. Highlander Phase 1 was completed in 2017, 2018. It's 100 units. The accelerator was completed about the same time, and that includes Hardy Coffee, Creighton University, Metropolitan Community College, the venue, the dining hall, and the Connect. And soon, hopefully, we'll be opening the greenhouse area, but 75 North, our partner, owns the facility and has done a great job at animating the neighborhood with programming there. Nobility Point is our 60-unit senior building, opened up, and mixed income. All these phases are mixed income. Highlander Phase 4 will break ground at the end of this year, also known as Overlook Burdett and Wade. 108 units, we mixed income. And then Davis Ridge, hopefully we'll have that either in 2022 or shortly thereafter. We'll be enrolling it in what's called the Crane program at NIFA. And now this phase, Kennedy Square, which is what we're talking about today. There'll be approximately 130 to 140 units at Kennedy Square. We are working out the final plans right now, but we're going to show you what we have and get some feedback. Kennedy Square includes components on the west and east side of North 30th Street. As you can see here, one site is in the location of the MLK building that Omaha Housing Authority owns, and the other site is the Big Spencer Homes that is on the west side of 75 North. As I said, it'll be 130 plus units. There'll be a mixture of 1 to 5 bedroom units, potentially some bigger units that can be converted into smaller units. There'll be a mixture of townhomes, elevator buildings, and some small rental buildings that are walk-ups. The buildings will help to animate life on 30th Street with ground level retail, and then also a community center for Omaha Housing Authority and residents, as well as building amenities. We're looking at a couple different options for open space, which will not be built with this project, but will be built adjacent to it, including potentially a soccer pitch and community gardens. All the units will be mixed income. Here is a rendering. It's not the color scheme, but it's the massing of what's happening on West 30th Street. It's designed by Eldorado, who also designed the accelerator building. And it's a building that will have first floor retail and then residents above. You can see it as you look down towards the south. There'll be a parking underneath the building, and the building will have some small retail bays. The units will be between 1 and 3 bedrooms, mostly 1s and 2s. And we'll have bright, exciting colors. But this again is not the final design, just the massing that we're working off of right now. You can see the storefronts will have a lot of glass and glazing for small businesses and nonprofits to find spaces they can call their own right on 30th. just like with the accelerator helping to animate what's happening in the neighborhood. And these spaces are really designed for really small tenants who want to put up a shingle somewhere, but don't necessarily want, to be in an office building or be in some sort of retail park. You can see the tenant spaces between 6 and 750 square feet, and then the building will have a lobby and amenity space that opens up into a really nice patio on the west side of the building. Parking will be partially behind the building and also underneath it. We actually completed a project just like this in Kansas City, which is a really wonderful place if anyone wants to come take a tour of it. It's called Arts Block. Across the street is another mixed-use building that will have 3 levels of residential above a 1-story community space. I think that the rendering here shows 2 stories, but it'll likely be just a 1-story space at the corner there with a nice feature. This building will, again, really create some energy on the east side of the street. Part of the space will be designed for a community space that will help to replace and enhance what's already has gone on historically. It doesn't go on now, but historically at the MLK Center, so that there'll be a gathering place, a location for events, for activities, and for residents to get together. You can see some of the vibrant colors that we're thinking about for the entryway to define the space and really suggest a festive, exciting future for the neighborhood. You can see the floor plan here. The floor plan shows the community center, the retail space on the corner, and the lobby. And again, this is I think will be a really wonderful place for residents to gather, and then the retail on the corner will be an exciting opportunity for, again, some sort of a tenant to move in who is interested and expressed interest to our partners about moving into the area. It'll be a prominent corner with a lot of light and visibility. While the units here say live work, what they'll likely be is very similar to what we have as the intergen buildings at Founders Row at Highlander. And these have a mixture of workspaces and divided off bedrooms and kitchenettes for multi-generational families, and also for artisans who like to work in their house, which is a lot of us now, as people are doing side hustles and working within different kinds of work at home environments. The building will shield and protect some of a tot lot in the back of the space, and then also a landscape courtyard with parking behind. As we move into the interior, 29th Street will cut through to Bristol Street, and along Lothrop, there'll be a mixture of walk-up buildings, townhomes, single-family homes, but this will really be kind of the low density neighborhoody type core that you'll see at Highlander 4, Overlook Burdett and Wade, which are a mixture of these townhome type buildings and some of the walk-up type townhomes that you'll see within that development as well. The look and feel of this neighborhood will be lower density, but will have a look and a feel that resembles a really great walkable community. Options are, I think in the first option was a soccer pitch, and we're showing this at the end. So both of Street will terminate where there'll be an opportunity for soccer, or we would do a community garden at the edge here. But really the idea is to buffer the neighborhood from the highway and provide an area where people can have some recreation in a larger space. This will probably be a location for some of the larger play areas and play structures that you see here, and will be an opportunity for gathering for the neighborhood. What's neat about I think the development is that this new street, Lothrop, will really create a sense of place within the neighborhood and bring people to the middle of the site in a way that really hasn't been the way that Spencer Homes has worked. Spencer Homes is a wonderful group of people that live there, but the buildings themselves are in rough shape, and the neighborhood feels cut off. So this will hopefully open things up. So we wanted to give this presentation today to really give you guys a chance to take a look at it, provide comments to us. Know that this is a start, not a finish, and our architects will be working over the next few weeks and month to revise the plan so that there'll be some additional detail on what you saw today. But the idea is that we'll continually come out to the neighborhood and get feedback and get people's thoughts. And if you're interested in living in this community, we can direct you to the manager. But this is the beginning, not the end. And we are really excited to be working with you to help think about the future of your community. And we're honored to be your partner in this journey. So I'm going to turn this over now to Lauren. And if she wants to add any other thoughts on this, and then perhaps Sydney will talk about her homes.
Thank you, Todd. I appreciate you going through that information. I know our resident participation right now on the call isn't as high, but I just wanted to mention that this information and video recording will be shared broadly on our Facebook page, as well as texted out to residents for you to have the opportunity to view it at a later time. We really are setting aside this time and presentation to get information back from you as residents of Spencer on how, your reactions to what Todd just went over. If you have questions or comments or concerns about anything that you've seen, we welcome your feedback. We truly want you to feel like you have a voice in the future design of your home. So all that said, I will open up a few minutes, maybe just one, to wait and see if anyone has any comments or questions right now. And if not, I'll go ahead and turn it over to 75 North to close out the presentation. Okay, I'm not seeing anything here in the chat or on the Facebook chat, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Sydney Franklin with 75 North to talk about a project that they have coming up as well.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you great, Sydney.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Sydney Franklin. I'm the president and CEO of 75 North. I have some family in my house, so I've been kicked out, so I'm outside, so hopefully everyone can hear me okay. Let's see, so our development team really just wanted to share some detail about an additional component of our revitalization strategy on the North 30th Street corridor, which is our home ownership initiative, which is going to break ground before the year's end. And so I wanted to just briefly over with you the first phase of what is going to become a multi-year, multi-phase, single-family for-sale housing strategy that's just south and then southeast of Highlander's primary development site on North 30th Street, which will consist of 4 single-family homes, again, that'll break ground before the year's end. So what you're looking at here, if you can go back just briefly, that highlighted section is the southwest corner of 29th and Parker Street. So I guess in certain instances, Parker Street is kind of our southern boundary. So if you're at 30th and Parker Street, just one block east of 29th Street, that will be where our first phase of single family for sale homes will be located on that southwest corner. So you can go to the next slide. We're showing here renderings for 3 homes, but we're actually going to break ground on 4 single family homes before the year's end. These are not the materials or the colors or anywhere close to the final design of what the homes will be. We actually very recently were able to acquire an additional site adjacent to these 3 homes. So we're going to break ground on 4 homes on that southwest corner of 29th and Parker Street. That will be 3-bed, 2-bathroom units Some of the designs will have an attached garage, some will be detached. And the floor plans are anywhere between 1,500 and 1,750 square feet of housing. You can go to the next slide. So you heard Todd reference multiple times the fact that the developments that have taken place so far in Highlander, the residential developments that 75 North has co-developed with Bridgeport Development have been mixed income. So some of the homes, the majority of the homes that we've constructed to date that are rental have an income restriction. There's a cap on how much you can make to live in the majority of the homes that have been constructed at Highlander, and then a portion are market rate. Considering our full home ownership strategy, we will try to align that income mix to what we've done with our rental units. But initially, all of our homes will have an income restriction. The way that these homes are being financed, the income cap to qualify to live in these homes on 29th and Parker Street will be an 80%. The household income cap will be 80% of the area median income. We'll be targeting between 60% and 80% of the area median income, but we're restricted to selling these homes to families that have an income cap of 80% of the area median income or below. As we continue to diversify the way that these homes will be financed using a multitude of public funding sources, using philanthropy and using 75 North's operating dollars, we'll be able to create that mixed income strategy so that we're able to sell to families not with that income restriction. Ultimately, we'll sell homes that are both have an income restriction and that are market rate. But these first 4 homes do have an 80% AMI, area median income cap. And let's see what the next slide is. All of these homes will have front porches, back porches, really beautiful amenities. The same architect that designed every single home that's constructed on the west side of 30th Street to date, a local firm called Alley Pointer Maquetto Architects. So if folks enjoy the style and the design of any of the homes that are constructed on the west side of 30th Street, so any of the townhomes and the row homes that line 31st Street, the courtyard and walk-up style apartments on that west side of 30th Street, a lot of the same designers are on these home designs. So the feel will feel a little consistent. And because, so what requires us to have that income restriction is the way that these homes are being financed. So the city of Omaha is contributing funds through their Home Fund program, which is an initiative from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development that allows organizations like 75 North to build affordable housing. And so these homes will be financed primarily with those funds. There'll also be a mix of philanthropy. And then we're also pursuing an additional home fund allocation through the state of Nebraska to subsidize these homes so that we can make them available to families at that 80% AMI cap. And so we anticipate a late summer, early fall completion date for these first 4 homes. And because we have that income restriction, we are partnering with Omaha 100 and Family Housing Advisory Services and using their wait lists and using their home buyer training to find eligible buyers for these homes. So if there's anyone either listening on Facebook or on this call or knows that there's anyone that is interested in living in the Highlander community in a home built around 29th and Parker Street, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, roughly 1,600 square feet of housing, please contact Family Housing Advisory Services in Omaha 100 and see how you can become eligible to qualify for these homes. Are there any questions about the home ownership program, timeline, eligibility?
I'm not seeing anything here in the chat or on Facebook.
I've got a quick question. Hi, Sydney. This is Joni over at OHA. With some of the assistance that's going into this home ownership and some other home ownership programs, some of the dollars like down payment assistance and things require homeowners to stay in their housing for a certain number of years, or they forfeit some of that assistance. Is any of that connected to this? Just so people understand the commitment.
Hi, Sydney, you're muted. We didn't hear any of that answer.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I was saying, yes, Joni. So the city of Omaha does require 75 North per a condition of our home funds allocation to set aside funds to be directed towards a home buyer assistance program like down payment assistance or even a soft second mortgage. There are certain stipulations to access down payment assistance, which are tied to there's a what's the there's an accrual period where you can basically wipe out whatever the terms are that are set into play through your relationship with Family Housing Advisory Services or Omaha 100. To be completely honest, I don't know exactly the details or if they are confined to a certain time frame. Like, for instance, with certain down payment assistance programs, the down payment assistance program period will match the mortgage term. So it could be this could be that $25,000 down payment assistance can be repaid if you stay in the home for 30 years. I think that that's a little lengthy. We've also seen programs where that's 10 years or 15 years, where that is a requirement that you stay in the home for that amount of time to have access to that full down payment, whether it's a down payment assistance or a soft second mortgage. 75 North will not administer those programs. Those will be administered through Family Housing Advisory Services. Those will be available though to the buyers if they qualify, if they're eligible for those first 4 homes, because we're using a home fund allocation through the city of Omaha. Those home buyers will have access to certain down payment assistance programs. And if there's anyone that has questions and wants to know the specifics of the terms for that, or to access a mortgage through Omaha 100, we can make that connection.
Thank you so much, Sydney. I just wanted to make sure that that potential interested buyers understood that commitment. And it's obviously a little bit different than some of the housing that has been developed through the revitalization that we've done so far in partnership with everyone. So such an amazing opportunity though. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we'll open up just a second for any additional questions to come in. Check Facebook again. Looks like I'm not seeing anything on my end. So just wanted to close the meeting by thanking everyone for joining us and our partners for being here to share information with residents about the future of their homes and neighborhood. My contact information is L Lightner, LIGHTNER @ohauthority.org. Listed right there, the third bullet down. So if there's any feedback that you have after having an opportunity to view this presentation at a later date, please know that I am open and willing to accept any questions you have or comments you have and bring that to the larger group. And as Todd mentioned before, we will have opportunities to provide further presentations about the site as more details come to fruition. And then additionally to that, I just wanted to take the opportunity to remind residents at Spencer Homes that we have a team of case management staff that are dedicated to working with you. They're on site at 2860 Spencer Street and available to provide support on getting you tucked in with CVR or relocation consultants if you need help with the housing location process and involved in relocation, or if you need assistance with getting connected to resources throughout the community, our case management team is available to help with that. So if you need to get connected and you haven't been, you can also reach out to me via email or swing by the office there. Thank you again for joining, and we will see you at the next one.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.